All good? James Gray.
Hey, Jake.
What's up, brother?
Not much. How are you?
Good, man. Nice to finally meet you. You're one of those guys who, like, you go back with this place, like the bunker. Like,
Yeah.
you've played here loads of times.
Yep.
I love the story about how you and Magoo met. It was at Mariposa Folk Fest, isn't it? So hit me with that.
Yeah. So the Doozies, who are extremely local, Josh, singer of the Doozies, lives about 200 meters from here. Him and Sean are close pals, and both Josh and the Doozies and myself got in through the showcase in 2019. And then I vividly remember meeting Sean. I mean, I met him at the showcase, but at Mariposa, and just kind of standing under a tree there, and we chatted for 10 minutes, and since then, I mean, he can't get rid of me. So yeah.
Boy, buddy, you're a fixture in this place, and we love it. So keep it up. So you come from you come from Huntsville, or you live in Huntsville?
Yeah. I grew up in a little town 20 minutes north of Huntsville called Emsdale. Yeah, it's tiny, and I live in the next town over, which is even tinier now. So yeah,
I can hear it in your music. You know, we had a big chat beforehand, before your session, and you know, you talk about John Prine, you talk about Steve Goodwin, you talk about these artists, Townes Van Zandt, who are all, you know, especially John Prine, Steve Goodwin, have a tongue-in-cheek thing to it, but you know, they tell those kind of small town stories.
Yeah,
and you know, it was that. Living in a small town, growing up with these artists, was that a huge influence, obviously, on your work and writing?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and no one played music.
You were the
family
first.
Growing up. Yeah, but I was just like infatuated with everything music. And my dad, I remember, like, my earliest memories was driving around in his Nissan Hustler, listening to, you know, he had a Jimmy Buffett tape and a John Prine tape and a Marshall Tucker tape, and those are the things that I like most now. It's kind of like, it's like, you know, to say to my dad, like, yeah, Dad, you have great taste in music.
Yeah,
but yeah, so those are kind of some of my earliest memories. But yeah, I think, like, boredom, living in a small town and just being bored, like being so bored, kind of, I think that helped develop my imagination. And, you know, I find being in cities and being, like, at shows, and sometimes it can be a little, you know, and I like having that quiet time and being in the bush. And I think it's helped me anyways to kind of focus in and hone in on when someone's really talking and telling a story. And I was telling Sean yesterday, I just love, what I love about performing is, you know, hopefully you can hear what the audience needs and give it to them, but deliver it to them in a way where it's not just like, here you go. It's like, you know, hopefully I can do my best to lead you there, but you led me to hopefully have an idea of what to give you. You know? So
the big thing that I notice about your music is that when John Prine writes a song and you listen to it, it sounds so simple, but it's not. You know what I mean? And that's what I find when I listen to your music. It's got a you know, simple structure and simple message, but there's like hidden gems in it, and different things. And like, I was talking to Jim, who does sound here, about it afterwards, and we're like, he took something from what you said, and I took something totally different. And I think that's beautiful. And what you do, it's like everyone takes something different.
Yeah, and that's what I hope is it's up to you for, you know, your interpretation, and not to you know, kind of lead the listener, right? So. And as far as the clarity thing too, like, I think there's so many incredibly talented musicians. It's endless. And it's like, am I going to try and do that? You know? So it's like, just trying to be clear.
Yeah, 100%. And now you have kind of, you know, you're another great artist who's done it their way. And you travel around, you gigged in Switzerland.
Yeah, I've been lucky to play overseas a fair bit.
What brought you to Switzerland? That's curious, because I remember when Magoo was telling me about it, you were like, he gigs in Switzerland all the time. I was like, it's not a typical place.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm sure great music fans, and I'm sure all that stuff. So what drew you over there? Like, how did this all go about?
So my ex-lady, who lived near where I grew up, she's Swiss, and brought me over there, and this is kind of even before I started writing folk songs. And a couple years in of like going kind of every spring with her to visit her family, I started playing her local like cafe. And then there's this fellow, he's passed now, and he was so incredible. His name is Paulo Hofer, and Paulo was like the Bob Dylan of Switzerland. He's like the most famous Swiss musician ever. And he lived in the same small town, and he came out to watch me play. And eventually I started opening for him at these cool spots. And Mark, hi Mark, if you're watching, Mark was in Paulo's band, and now I play with Mark when I'm over there, and it's pretty special. Yeah. So, and it's been really cool, and they're really warm and inviting, and I'm getting to play, I'm heading over in the spring, and I'm getting to play some of the same places I played before, and some new things. Obviously since COVID, things have changed, but yeah, it's, it's been so nice to get to develop a little network, and whether it's like my neighbor or, across the ocean, right?
Yeah,
so
of course.
As you know, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
What's up next for you? I know you said you're going to Switzerland. What's down the pipeline?
So a couple little tours, heading Europe in the spring. I'm going to gig like crazy over the summer. Hopefully another tour in the fall, might head east. And then writing. So I've kind of like cleared everything off my plate, and I haven't wanted to write for the last while. I've just been like, I need to focus on other things. But I just released an album 2 months ago, and now all of a sudden the songs are just like, they're just kind of, popping out. I hope they continue to. So yeah, I'm really excited what could maybe come out.
Well, we're so pumped too, man. You're like family to us here at the Bonkers.
Thanks, Jake. Thank you so much. Thanks for everything. Thanks for everything.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
James Gray, guys. Come on, brother. That was awesome. What a hoot. That was great, brother. Let's get those pictures and let's get out of here.